All right, let's talk about blood pressure, because if your blood pressure is high, everyone gives you the same advice. Just cut salt. And look, salt is important. I'm not here to pretend sodium is innocent. Salt is not some misunderstood little angel sitting quietly in the corner. It is a culprit, but if your entire blood pressure plan is just use less salt, that might be why nothing is changing, because for a lot of people, high blood pressure is not just a salt problem. It's a processed food problem, a blood sugar problem, an insulin resistance problem, a sleep problem, so like stress, weight problem, you name it, and it's there. So in this video, I'm going to explain what blood pressure actually is, why salt gets blamed for everything, and what really drives blood pressure up in the real world. Not TikTok medicine, not lemon water, not manifest lower systolic pressure and bullshit. Actual physiology without making you want to fall asleep. Let's get into it. So, what is blood pressure actually? Blood pressure is basically the force of blood pushing against the walls of your arteries, and it mainly depends on three things: how hard your heart is pumping, how much fluid is in your circulation, and how tight or relaxed your blood vessels are. So if your blood pressure is high, one or more of those systems is off. Your heart might be pushing harder, your body might be holding on to too much fluid, your blood vessels might be stiff, narrow, inflamed, or not relaxing properly. That's why high blood pressure is not just you ate salty crisps. That's just toddler level physiology, okay? Blood pressure is a full system. Heart, kidneys, blood vessels, hormones, nervous system, it's all connected. And that's why two people can eat the same salty meal and have completely different responses. One person's kidneys handle it beautifully. The other person holds on to fluid like their body is preparing for a fucking zombie apocalypse, all right? Now, salt matters, but it's not the whole story. Let's talk about salt real quick, okay? Salt contains sodium. Sodium pulls water. So when sodium intake is high, your body can retain more water, blood volume can rise, and pressure inside the blood vessels can increase. That's a real thing, all right? A BMJ meta-analysis found that reducing sodium intake significantly lowers systolic blood pressure in adults, especially in people with hypertension. So if someone tells you salt doesn't really matter at all, it's absolute nonsense, okay? But here's the nuance. Not everyone responds to salt the same way. Some people are salt sensitive. Their blood pressure rises significantly with sodium. Others can tolerate more sodium without a dramatic rise. So cut salt is not necessarily wrong. It's just incomplete. It's like your car engine light comes on and someone says, have you tried washing the car? Like, what the fuck? It makes no sense. It's useful? Maybe? Relevant? Absolutely not. It's not the whole answer. And here's the bigger issue, guys. Most people aren't getting excess sodium because they put a little salt on home cooked eggs or something. They're getting it from processed food, ready meals, takeaways, sauces, crisps, processed meats, fast food, bread, cereal, stuff that doesn't even taste that salty. And it all adds up during the day. And processed food doesn't just bring sodium, it brings refined carbohydrates, added sugar, low fiber, low potassium, high calories, and most importantly, poor satiety, which that's the trap, man. I have a whole video coming out about this. That's the trap that the processed food industry wants you to fall into, all right? They bring you no fucking satiety, and they just give you a lot of calories, and they're quite cheap. Have you noticed? These foods are quite cheap. Anyways, so it's basically a metabolic group chat from hell. That's where blood pressure gets really messy. Now let's talk about sugar, insulin, and the kidney trap. And before someone starts crying in the fucking comments, sugar is not poison, okay? Fruit, for example, is not killing you. Like fructose, which is found in, it's the sugar found in fruit, is not killing you. Your banana is not plotting your fucking stroke. The issue is not normal amounts of carbohydrates from whole foods. The issue is the modern diet. Refined carbs, sugary drink, ultra processed snacks, liquid calories, constant glucose, and insulin spikes all day. Most people know insulin as the blood sugar hormone, okay? But insulin also affects the kidneys and the nervous system. Research on insulin resistance and hypertension shows that hyperinsulinemia may contribute to sodium retention and increased sympathetic nervous system activity, both of which can push blood pressure up. In normal English, high insulin can tell your kidneys to hold on to more sodium. And where sodium goes, water follows. So now, blood volume can increase even if you're not eating loads of visible salt. That's the trap. You could be trying to reduce salt. If your diet is full of ultra-processed carbs and sugary drinks, your body may still be getting the signal that, okay, hold on to sodium, hold on to water, keep blood pressure nice and high. Lovely, amazing, thank you, very helpful. That's not what we want. Now we need to be careful here, folks. This doesn't mean insulin always causes high blood pressure. I'm not trying to say that. That would be too simple, okay? But insulin resistance, obesity, sodium handling, sympathetic activation, and hypertension are strongly connected. So ignoring insulin resistance while obsessing over salt is dumb. This video is not, salt is fake news. It's not clickbaity like that. It's blood pressure is bigger than salt. It's a multifactorial thing. Now let's move on to the next part. Sugary drinks are a problem. Sugary drinks deserve their own fucking slap. Okay? And they're cheap, they're accessible, they're everywhere. Your favorite fucking influencer, like Prime Energy drinks, keep promoting it. And zero nutritional value, okay? Zero. They keep telling you like, oh, it has this many, all the different electrolytes and branch-chain amino acids. It could make you fly. It's got less sugar than Mountain Dew. It's got it's chemically fucking made. Okay, listen. Sugary drinks deserve their own slap because they deliver sugar quickly with no fiber, no chewing, no fullness, and basically no nutritional value. A systematic review and meta-analysis of prospective cohorts found sugar-sweetened beverages were associated with modest increased risk of developing hypertension. There you go. That makes sense. Sugary drinks are easy to overconsume, high in calories. Yeah, we got the, 0 calorie ones, but they still have sweeteners in them. There's a reason it tastes sweet. Even though the calorie might be low, but it does taste sweet. Chemically made, avoid at all costs. They can contribute to weight gain, insulin resistance, visceral fat. It's not what we want. Subcutaneous fat is something that we can get rid of. Having a lot of visceral fat around your organs, it's not good. So if you're drinking calories every day but trying to fix your blood pressure by buying pink Himalayan salt, you're rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. The bigger villain is not the pinch of salt on your chicken, it's the industrial food environment. Now let's cover potassium and the DASH diet. Potassium is very important. It helps counterbalance sodium and supports blood pressure control. It's one of the main things. That's why when we have a patient in the hospital and we're keeping track of their blood markers, especially their electrolytes, and we see that their potassium has dropped, we need to normalize that shit quick, really quick, because it might cause you a lot of issues with your heart. This is one reason whole food diets tend to help. So you get fruit, vegetables, beans, lentils, potatoes, leafy greens. The DASH diet is a perfect example. It's not magic. It's basically a diet rich in fruit, vegetables, low-fat dairy, whole grains, fish, poultry, nuts, and lower in sweets, sugary drinks, and saturated fat. My thing is, if you could find discipline in your life and consume, the things that bring you joy, albeit quickly, you want to get that dopamine rush. You want to get that Red Bull. You want to get something sugary just to feel good, because vegetables and other shit, they're quite boring, right? So they don't feel as good when you eat them. You could consume them once a week in moderation. Keep everything else nice and clean throughout the day or throughout the week. Now, In the DASH sodium trial, the DASH diet lowered blood pressure at every sodium level, and reducing sodium lowered it further. That's the real message. Sodium matters, but total diet quality also matters a lot too. If your diet is mostly whole foods, high in potassium, high in fiber, and lower in ultra-processed shit, your blood pressure system usually behaves a lot better. Not because your body loves clean eating, because the physiology makes sense. The next point I want to touch on, folks, your blood vessels are alive. Your arteries are not passive pipes. They are actually alive. The inner lining of your blood vessels is called the endothelium. One of the jobs is producing something called the nitric oxide, which helps blood vessels relax. When nitric oxide availability drops, blood vessels become stiffer and more constricted. That raises vascular resistance, and vascular resistance raises blood pressure. This is why movement is important, is crucial. Get up, move around, and do some sort of activity. Walking, cycling, swimming, jogging, resistance training. Exercise improves the machinery, which is your body, all right? Not because you're sweating out toxins. Stop saying that. It's just, don't, please. See that shit on TikTok. TikTok is just that's another thing. It's not because you're sweating out toxins. You're not a sponge. Movement helps your blood vessels relax, improves insulin sensitivity, supports weight control, reduces stress, and helps your body regulate blood pressure properly. Boring? Yes. Powerful? Also yes. Now, let's talk about sleep, stress, and sleep apnea. Sleep. Because if your sleep is trash, your blood pressure is, the plan is ruined. Poor sleep increases sympathetic nervous system activity. That means your body stays more in fight or flight mode. It is so true. Your heart rate goes up, your blood vessels get tighter, stress hormone ends up being higher, and if you snore, wake up with headaches, wake up tired or feel sleepy during the day, sleep apnea needs to be considered. Sleep apnea is a huge misdriver of high blood pressure. And no, snoring is not just deep sleep, okay? Sometimes it's your airway fighting for fucking life like it owes it money, okay? Stress. Let's talk about stress. Stress alone is not the whole explanation for high blood pressure, folks, but chronic stress absolutely contributes. Not because bad vibes raises systolic, no cap. Because stress changes behavior and biology. You sleep worse, you eat worse, you move less, you drink more alcohol, you just make bad decisions, and you take more caffeine, your nervous system stays switched on. It's like a domino effect, like everything just goes to shit. So when someone says my blood pressure is high because I'm stressed, sometimes they're right. But the solution is not just calm down, bro. Just calm down, okay? A lot of people don't want to hear that. The advice is useless. It's like telling someone with asthma, have you tried breathing better? Amazing. The real question is, what inputs are keeping your system stressed? Sleep, work, alcohol, caffeine, money pressure, wife is not talking to you. What's going on? All right. You don't fix stress by pretending to be calm. I've tried it. Trust me. I've tried many times. I've been stressed out so many times and I'm like, okay, let me just act calm. But internally I'm dying, but let me just act calm. You can't do that. You fix it by changing the inputs, okay? Now, let's move on to alcohol and caffeine. Alcohol, guys, can raise blood pressure, please. And if you drink regularly, especially above recommended limit, it can sabotage blood pressure control, man. This is where people get defensive, like, oh bro, I only drink on the weekends with the boys. Oh, I only drink socially, or when I go to a wedding, I only. Okay, calm down, chill out. But if your weekend involves like 8 pints, a takeaway, 3 hours of sleep, and waking up feeling like a haunted bin bag, your blood pressure does not care. There was only just that Saturday, bro. Your body doesn't work on vibes, it works on physiology. Now, caffeine. It's a tricky thing because I consume, like when I wake up, I have my morning coffee. I take 200 milligrams of caffeine and I get on with my day. Caffeine can temporarily increase blood pressure in some people. That doesn't mean coffee is evil, but if you're having 4 coffees, poor sleep, anxiety, and high blood pressure, maybe don't act shocked that your cardiovascular system is behaving like it's being chased by a bear. Okay? That's the nice way to put it. I was going to say something else, but it's the YouTube. Again, context. What actually lowers blood pressure? Now, let's make this practical. If your blood pressure is high, here's the checklist. Measure it properly. Get a machine from a pharmacy. You know, it's boring, but it's crucial. Do it properly. Put it on, shut the fuck up, and just let it do its job. Okay? Imagine if I actually talked to patients like this. I wouldn't have a job. Anyways, do it properly. So sit quietly for 5 minutes, feet flat, back supported, arms supported at heart level, correct cuff size. Don't talk. Take 2 readings and average them. A single stressed reading at the GP when you've run in late, sweating, pretending you're relaxed is not always the full picture. Okay, so if you want to take that seriously, get that machine and get it checked out regularly. Number 2, reduced ultra processed food. For the love of God, this is bigger than the salt shaker. If most of your sodium comes from packaged and restaurant food, obsessing over table salt is missing the point. Build your diet around protein, vegetables, fruit, potatoes, fish, lean meats, Greek yogurt, whole grains, if tolerated. Number 3, increase potassium-rich foods. Don't randomly stop potassium supplements. Don't do that dumb shit, all right? Supplementation, it's in the word. You supplement. You don't fully start taking the supplement as your main source of that particular electrolyte. So don't randomly start taking potassium supplements, especially if you have kidney disease or take medications like ACE inhibitors. Okay, but food sources, usually a win. So fruit, vegetables, beans, lentils, potatoes, green leafy vegetables. And number 4, walk after meals. This is one of the easiest metabolic wins. A 10-minute to 15-minute walk after meals helps post-meal glucose handling. Better glucose control means lower insulin demand. Lower insulin demand can help the system over time. Also, walking reduces stress, helps weight control, and makes you less likely to sit doom scrolling while your blood sugar has a party. Okay. Number 5, lose visceral fat if needed. Visceral fat is the fat around the organs, as I mentioned. It's strongly linked to insulin resistance, inflammation, sleep apnea, and high blood pressure. You don't need to get stage ready shredded. This is not a bodybuilding prep. We can make another video about this, okay? But modest weight loss can meaningfully reduce blood pressure in people carrying excess weight, myself included. I've gained a bunch of weight recently, and I'm trying to drop to a nice light weight, and I'm implementing every single thing that I'm telling you. Okay, so yeah, practical advice. Number 6, do both cardio and resistance training. Don't just do cardio and don't just lift. Do both. Aerobic exercise helps the cardiovascular system. Resistance training supports muscle, insulin sensitivity, body composition, and long-term metabolic health. Your blood vessels like movement. Your muscles like resistance. Your future self likes not needing help getting off the toilet. All right, everyone wins. Number 7, fix sleep. If sleep is dog shit, blood pressure control gets harder. Regular sleep schedule, dark room, caffeine cutoff, less alcohol close to bed, screen wind down. This is why I wear this when I'm looking at screens, so to avoid blue light affecting my sleep. And if you snore, wake up tired, or feel sleepy in the day, get checked for sleep apnea, please. Number 8, reduce alcohol. I know, it's not sexy, but it's very effective. If blood pressure is high and alcohol intake is high, reducing alcohol is one of the boring levers that can actually work. And number 9, take medication if needed. This is important. Lifestyle is powerful, but don't be stupid. Some people need medication. Medication doesn't mean that you're a failure. It's not weakness. It's not big pharma got me, bro. Okay? Uncontrolled blood pressure can cause strokes, heart attacks, kidney disease, heart failure, and vascular dementia. The goal, ladies and gentlemen, is not to prove you're natural. The goal is to not die. All right? The goal is to not have a stroke because you wanted to win an imaginary argument with your GP. Medication can reduce risk while you work on the lifestyle drivers underneath. Anyways, guys, if this video helped, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We're a new channel here. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of content. I'm not your typical doctor. I have like sometimes I have a potty mouth. I have a filthy mouth. But I'm trying to keep things entertaining for you. I don't want to make things like a medical lecture. I want this to be engaging, fun to listen to and watch. And I hope you guys enjoy it. If you're watching this, leave a nice little feedback down in the comments for me. And let me know what the topics you want me to cover. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Amir, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.